everybody, it's LavenderTowne, and today I'm taking 4 iconic horror movie covers and I'm going to make them cute and wholesome. I started with The Witch, or as I call it, the Vitch. This movie was really dark, super intense, but I wanted to start with this one because I thought it would be the easiest to make cute because honestly, I am not very scared of animals, especially goats. I think they're lovely and extremely cute, and I love petting them during the fair, so it was very easy for me to tap into what's cute about a goat and just basically draw an adorable goat on the cover of this thing. So I thought I'd start relatively easy on myself and slowly ratchet it up until things are very hard to make cute. And just to be clear, I'm not only changing the actual image on the cover, but I'm also going to try to make the title and the subtitle cuter and more wholesome as well. So for those of you who didn't watch it or don't know, this movie is basically about the fears that people had in the 1600s about witches, and generally just a fear of the unknown, the occult, of people stealing your babies or befouling your crops. I actually didn't really like this movie, if I'm being honest. I didn't find it terribly scary, mostly because I don't think I'm just not very afraid of the devil or anything like that. So all of that didn't really work on me, and there's scary scenes with the goat that, again, because I find goats so endearing, it's it would be like someone trying to make a puppy demonic. I don't think it would really work for me because I just don't have that phobia in particular. But it was a very beloved movie by a lot of people because they worked so hard to try and make it really feel real to the time period. And in fact, all the actors and everything still talk with this very strong Old English sort of style of speaking, which is really interesting to see. You usually only hear Shakespearean English or normal English with no other sort of time periods or dialects, and this movie definitely had a different type of English dialect that I hadn't really heard before. So like I said in the start, I mainly just turned this goat into a cuter goat. I also changed the framing so it's less threatening. It's more zoomed out so you can see its mouth and everything, so it's less sort of a claustrophobic, cramped horror style composition. I also added an uwu face to the double V W that they have because I just could not help it. It seemed too perfect. And I changed the subtitle from Evil Takes Many Forms to Good Goats on Many Farms. Next up is a bit more of a classic, The Shining. Now this one I had a particular idea for. He's obviously very scary, and this taps more into the things that I'm afraid of. I think The Shining is a pretty frightening movie, though unfortunately my parents, specifically my dad, spoiled the whole movie for me when I was a little kid because he thought I wouldn't remember it by the time I was old enough to watch it, but I still remembered everything he said. Plus, it kind of gives itself away with this front cover. It's pretty clear that something's going to go on with our boy here, but the way I wanted to make this one cute is basically I just added finger guns and gave him a friendlier face. This was really fun because I don't draw a lot of guys, as some of you are definitely aware of. I get a lot of comments about drawing too many girls, but what can I say? I love drawing girls. I have no shame about it. But I did enjoy drawing this guy's face. I tried to just make him look friendly and handsome and charming so that the super close-up on his face isn't claustrophobic and it's more just sort of cute. And I had them looking at each other because I thought that was funny. I feel like it's really hard to make someone look creepy when they're rocking finger guns, especially when they have a normal smile accompanying it. I suppose if I had this unhinged look on his face, even the finger guns wouldn't really help. It would definitely just look like some sort of unhinged meme or something. And this time I actually typed in the text. I wanted it to have a almost 1990s, 1980s-ish rom-com sort of text. I don't know if that really came across, but that's kind of what I'm looking for here. I want it to look more like a romantic comedy than a horror movie without really changing the framing at all. I felt like that would be a good challenge. And I also just tried to sort of chisel out his face so he didn't look like such a, cartoon baby like most of my characters do, which I think worked relatively well. It's kind of fun to draw slightly outside of my style. I just felt like I'd want to just push it just a teensy bit more realistic than I usually do, just because we have this actual human face right next to it. In the end, I think this one turned out pretty well. It looks really silly. I can't even imagine what this movie would be about at this point. This next one was more difficult for drawing sort of reasons. Usually horror movies have a character really close or something, and a lot of darkness, but this one has like a full shot of someone's bedroom, which is a little bit harder to draw. So this is one of the ones I wanted to put later in the video. Paranormal Activity, it gets a lot of hate, let's be honest. A lot of people say that nothing happens. Honestly, this movie scared me so bad when it came out. I'd never seen like Blair Witch or any of these other sort of found footage movies. So it was the first time I'd ever seen something that like felt like a home movie turned into a horror movie, and it just really worked for me, and I really buy into tension in horror movies, so I was very tense the whole time. So my idea for this one, I mean, Paranormal Activity, the movie, is all about ghosts sort of wandering in, well, not ghosts, it's like a spirit, an evil spirit or something, wandering in while they're sleeping and like messing with stuff and opening cupboards and messing with their sheets. So my idea for this one is, first of all, let's make it not night, so it's Paranormal Naptivity now, and it's just this girl having a lovely little nap in the middle of the day, so I could do a lot of like nice golden sunlight colors and make it feel a lot calmer. And then my idea is basically that this is just like a friendly ghost who helps your nap be better. So for example, when you're taking a sudden nap, the ghost will bring in a glass of water for you, because you know, when you wake up from a nap, you're always like really thirsty and your mouth's all dry. So this is just sort of like a nice helpful ghost that wants your nap to be better. And I almost had an idea of like maybe she's alone in the bed because her like boyfriend, husband, whoever died, and now they're watching over her and taking care of her. But then I was like, that's too sad for my wholesome drawing. So now it's just sort of a ghost who's chilling in the house and doesn't want to bother anyone, just wants to be helpful. So that's sort of the concept I went with at the end here. I think changing the color palette makes such a huge difference. Like these sunsetty colors would be very difficult to make scary. I'm sure it's possible, but yeah, it definitely helps a lot. I wasn't overly in love with the way this drawing turned out, if I'm being honest. I think it looks a little sloppy, but I like the concept a lot, so I don't totally hate it. I like how there's a review from Ain't It Cool News on the front of this Paranormal Activity DVD, so I wanted to give a review on the front of my DVD case, and I decided to bold different parts of it as well, just like the real one. It's kind of a negative review, honestly, because if you're expecting a horror movie, this would probably be a pretty bad one. I think it's precious. I don't love the inking. I think it looks so bad, but anyway, let's move on. Last up is It. I couldn't not do it. It just keeps being relevant, so I had to do this one as well. And I put this one at the end because it was actually the hardest to make look cute and wholesome. There is something about clowns that are really menacing. I don't know what it is. I think a lot of people have like a clown phobia, and just the fact that he's like this big hulking adult around a cute little kid also makes it sort of ominous, even if you try to make them look friendly together. So my idea here kind of goes into the lore of It. So for those of you who know the story at all, you know that It isn't actually a clown adult person. It is like a creature that can shapeshift and turn into different things. So there's a scene in the more recent It movie where, I won't spoil anything, but where he seems sympathetic, like he really wants to be friends and he's lonely. So that's what I leaned into with this cover, and I'm making that actually true, where he really does just want to make friends with somebody. And obviously our main title character right here is also lonely at this point for reasons. So I decided that he would shapeshift into the form of a kid, a little kid clown thing, and maybe our character here will be friends with him. I'm trying not to spoil anything for those of you who haven't seen the movie, but yeah, anyway, I just thought it would be a cute little friendship story about a clown creature who can't make friends easily because he's a scary clown, and then this kid who's sort of on his own and wants someone to play with sort of gives him a chance. So that's what our new It movie is about. I decided to put the title on the balloon because I think that's more whimsical and cute, and I had a little bit of trouble with the subtitle You'll Float Too. I wasn't immediately coming up with anything anything really brilliant. I tried out a few different things before I settled on the subtitle that I did settle on. I feel like I had to put it in there. I didn't want to put all the like 4K Ultra HD digital download stuff. I just felt like that wasn't going to add anything, and honestly I think it looks kind of ugly. It sucks that that DVD case has to have, well, or the Blu-ray case has to have all that junk on it. So it's still a little ominous, but "You'll Be His Friend Too" is the subtitle I went with. So here are all the finished covers together, and before I end the video, I did want to announce that I'm going to be streaming today to celebrate 1 million subscribers. Check down in the comments for a pinned comment about more specifics. I should be live by the time you're seeing this, and if you're seeing it, you know, within a few hours or so, within it getting released, I'll probably still be live. I'll be doing, I think, requests based on sort of a random selection, so you might be able to get something drawn by me if you want, and watch me draw weird stuff that people want me to draw. Also, we have an official community Discord now, so if you would like to join, there will also be a link in the pinned comment and wherever else I can put the link. It's been really fun so far and everyone's been really sweet, so if you'd like to join a very nice community of fellow artists, I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much to my wonderful patrons, including Bella Story, Campo Pone, Clockwork Construct, Dr. Casket, Ilary Alui, Elizabeth Album, Fano, Greer the Animator, Hachiubi, Iara Formoso, Imagine Creations, Ivan Rodriguez, JJJ, Joseph Copel, Drunk on Insomnia, Katie Alina, Katie Marigold, Liblibla, Micah Dactyl, Mr. Dr. Pants, Nora Cornelison, Ollie, Rosie Warlock, Rudy, Scott Steffes, Sergeant Pendulum, Storm Scribbles, The Artsy Moose, Throat Foam, Tom David Johansson, Your Boy ST, Zoe Stardust, and Magath.